Good morning. We're on Highway 2 headed towards Spokane. This video is brought to you by SONY Transportation, now hiring Super B woodchip, Super B flat deck Class 1 drivers in BC's Lower Mainland, the Okanagan, and the Kootenays. To apply, go to sutco.ca, use promo code JuanFan, let them know I sent you, and you'll get an extra $100 on your first payday. Also, make sure you use my name as a reference. Any referral bonuses I get, I will split with you guys. So yeah, we're headed to Spokane, Highway 2. We should have made it to the customer last night, but we have an hour and a half to still drive. So we parked at this rest area up here in the middle of nowhere. It is 6:56 a.m., 12.5 degrees Celsius. A little bit warmer than it has been, but we're a little further south as well. Looks like they got less snow here. So yeah, after we left Vernon yesterday, remember we talked about worrying about the Oyama Hill? Well, I went up and over it, no problem. Got to the bottom, in Lake Country there's a red light at the bottom. That was extremely slick, but a Super B tried to make the corner onto Highway 97 from that intersection and spun out doing so, blocking a lane and a half. So I came up, I was the first one to the red light there, and well, there was a couple cars in front of me, but the cars were sneaking by, and I just looked at it and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I can fit past him there. I'm just gonna wait till they get him straightened out, chained up and straightened out. Shouldn't take too long to do that. And then here comes the wide load that I passed a little bit ago. Pulls up beside me and waits. Didn't wait for long, and all of a sudden they decide the wide load can pass on the shoulder where I didn't feel safe passing. I'm like, if I don't feel safe passing there, what makes you think the wide load will be safe to pass there? He had to jump the curb, and he still hit the Super B with his wide load, which they looked like heavy duty cabins, two of them on the back of a trailer. They were very small cabins, but they were fairly wide, probably 11 feet or so. And hit the Super B with his load, and they kind of tied themselves together. Now, instead of waiting there for a short period of time, we had to wait till they could get untangled. The logging truck pulled up beside me and said that was the most ridiculous thing he's ever seen. So we waited and waited. Eventually the cops showed up and CVSE showed up. The police asked for footage off of my dash cam. Eventually CVSC says, "Hey, logging truck, can you pull up to that Super B, attach a chain to the back of it, and pull in reverse to try to pull that trailer off of the sheds, cabins?" It definitely weren't sheds. They had a balcony on them. They were definitely like tiny cabins. For sheds, it'd be huge sheds with balconies. They were built really beautiful too. Maybe. And the logging truck goes, "What about liability?" CVSE goes, "No liability. Because whatever happens to the Super B happens to the Super B." And the trucker goes, "I don't care what happens to those cabins. Rip those right off the trailer. That guy deserves it." So he pulled that Super B about 4 feet back just to straighten the trailer. And then kind of pulled it off of the cabins, and then they chained up and put a pickup and towing in front of the other Super B, and got it far enough out of the way that we could now pass on the right. And do you think the wide load waited to get that straightened out? Nope, they just automatically just pulled up right beside them and then pulled just far enough ahead of that load and stopped, so we still couldn't go. So the police had to go talk to them again and tell them to pull a little further ahead, issue them their tickets. The pilot car and the truck driver, both complete idiots. Finally got out of there, got to Kelowna, heard the radio chatter of everybody spinning out in West Kelowna. So I threw a chain on in Kelowna when I fueled up, and kept that chain on all the way through Kelowna. Thank goodness I kept the intersections in Kelowna were so slippery that I was happy to have one chain up. I only threw one chain on, just the driver's side front drive axle. I threw triples and they were trades. And that got me up the hill out of West Kelowna. Well, first off, not out of West Kelowna, out of Kelowna. First, it got me through all the intersections in Kelowna where all the other rigs were spinning their tires. It got me over the bridge. There was a bus spun out on the bridge. And then climbing the hill into West Kelowna, I had no issues, but another truck was spun out. And then we went into the West Kelowna Sutco yard. I picked up some paperwork, and then off I went. The Gorman Hill, there was a Super B fuel truck spun out over there. Past him, went down the hill, and when we got down to Peachland, the road started getting better, but I was on the radio going, "How's Antler Hill?" And they're going, I had chains on and I was spinning. I'm like, okay, leaving the chain on. Just leaving it on. So once I got up Antler Beach Hill and into the 4-lane section, there's a rock slide area, so there's a construction area. That's when two of the links on the chain failed, and I started hearing the clink, clink, clink of a failed link. I'm like, hey, this seems like a good time to pull over. I pulled over right after the construction, right on the road, because the construction blocks a lane, so I just parked into the blocked lane and then pulled the chain off, and off we went with no further incident. Well, that's not quite true. Got to the border, dropped the rear axle, and it wouldn't drop. So So I left it in drop mode and then drove down the highway a couple of miles and checked, and all the bumping and banging made it drop, and now I'm good. The pass over from Omak to Grand Coulee Dam, no issues. Grand Coulee Dam itself is very steep, and that was no issue as well. The roads were actually wet there. We had sanded the heck out of that very steep hill, so no problem. Made it to that rest area in the middle of nowhere. With like 5 minutes to spare. I wasn't paying attention. I don't even know which town we're in. Davenport. There we go. There's a sign. Davenport. Welcome to Davenport. Figured to get a video in early today because I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the day. Are we going to be stuck waiting for a load? It's been that type of week. I'm like, let's just get a video in. I don't know how much driving I'm doing after this. If we do some driving after this, I'll shoot the bonus video for the weekend. Lock it up for this little hill here. That looks slippery. Put one tire in the snow. So yeah, it's been a couple of eventful days. Not getting much driving in that way. So yeah, Monday's load was a day late, delivered that a day late. This load is an additional day late. So basically we've lost two days of work. One last week and one this week so far. Oh yeah, obviously no Jess here because she's in the back sleeping because the truck is idling overnight and she is not used to that. So she's trying to get some extra sleep because she did not sleep well last night. I didn't sleep great, but definitely better than her. Looks like, looking at the reflections of the oncoming cars, it looks like the actual tracks we're driving in are not slippery. But everything else is black ice or compact snow. Guy's driving along the highway with four-way flashers on, but his rear lights are so packed so full of snow that nobody behind him can see he has the four-way flashers on. So, what's the point? I don't know why, but trucks, the way they're designed, sucks all the snow onto the lights. Cars, not really a problem. If you're in a car, you don't really have to worry about getting out and cleaning the rear lights, but if you're ever driving a big truck or a truck and trailer, those lights get caked with snow. Clean those lights off. Anytime you come to a stop on a pullout or a rest area or a gas station, brake check. Maybe even do a couple extra of those. Pull over, clean the rear lights off. Looks like we're going to have a cloudy sunrise here. Sunrise is 7:30. Wow, 7:37 a.m. So still another 20 minutes away. Then the sun sets around what, 3:30, give or take, and we drive all the way till, in the US, drive all the way till 9. Well, I got up 6:30 today, so 8:30. If we're in the US, we'll drive till 8:30. If we're in Canada, we'll drive till 10:30 p.m. So 6:30 to 10:30. So it'll be a lot of nighttime driving every day. Is that 7 hours of nighttime driving? Well, plus the morning, I don't really consider this nighttime driving, but so it's about 50-50. Half of my driving is done in the daylight, half of my driving is done at night this time of year. Or not at night, but in the dark, I mean. It's still daytime, but it's dark. Excuse me. got here? Spin out? Or break down? Doesn't look spun out. I'm thinking broke down. Way station, half a mile. Half a mile. It said median scale, but it's not. Way station closed. It's a left side scale, so I guess you have to turn on the exit ramp in the median. So. Scale is closed. What town do we have here? Can't remember. Let's see if we see a town name. Welcome to Reardan. You can just smell the burning metal. It's a burning metal smell from that snowplow. eating a granola bar. A little bit of drifting snow over here. Yeah, if you didn't know better, you'd say I was in the prairies. Enough blowing snow that we're starting to get some drifts on the other lane. So yeah, it looks like the prairies because we're in a big lava flow area. Columbia Basin, surrounded by mountains. In fact, I guess we are on top of the mountains. The valleys just got filled in with lava. I wonder if that's why there's an air base here. Sure, it would be hard to get to an air base that's surrounded by mountains. Turner lock was on again for that hill. Don't need to spin out on the last hill. I get to have the joys of going outside and untarping this thing in the cold. I guess I'll survive. One tire on the snow again. All right, we are fine. Turning the lockers on is a bit like turning your four-wheel drive on your pickup or car or SUV. A bit like that. Except I don't have four-wheel drive. There is no power going to the steer axle. I've said that some trucks do have four-wheel drive. Very rarely, but some do. Fairchild Air Force Base. No, you don't get to see anything from the highway. An Air Force Base. I don't think they don't want anyone to see anything from the highway. Pickups rolled over a couple times. Parked on top of a fence. It looks like everybody is coming to work. 7:35 because my GPS just switched from dark mode to light mode, so GPS thinks the sun just came up. I don't see no sun, but it's going to be hidden behind the clouds. So technically this is sunrise right now. So GPS is smart enough to change from bright mode to dark mode different every single day by just a little bit to synchronize with sunrise and sunset. Forward flashers on to send a message to people behind me. Don't come up beside me. Because in a roundabout, I use more than just my lane. Thought that car was coming on me. This town is called Airway Heights, thanks to the Air Force and International Airport. This is where we flew out of when we went on vacation to Texas. Well, I think we can officially ignore speed limit signs and just follow traffic. Because we're not doing anything near the speed limit. I consider Airway Heights as the greater Spokane area. Pickup beside us decided to slow down and cut in behind us. Ooh, this is slippery. This is ice rink slippery. And yeah, I'm leaving a lot of room in front of me. But I think I need about that much room to slow down on a slippery day. So the amount of room I leave in front of me completely changes all the time, as depending on how grippy the road is and how fast we are driving. So if you see a big rig with a big space in front of him like this, that's his space. Leave it alone. Don't go in it. It is the suicide space. If you want to pull into that space, it's you're taking your own life in danger. I've heard people say it's like, I don't have to merge until the last minute, just find a big rig and merge in front of them. It's like, yep, that's suicide talk. I just realized I said that word on a YouTube video. Guess this YouTube video isn't getting pushed anywhere. There won't be much for ads on it. Oh well. I said one of the key words. Guess I can bleep it out. Oh, we'll just go through this little dip here into Spokane and then we'll call it a video. Welcome to Spokane. Don't need to turn the lockers on yet, but I want them to be fully engaged by the time we get to this next hill. Probably don't need them. There's so much traffic on this road that the roads look like they're wet, but why take a risk? Spokane can be a challenge with traffic on a good day during rush hour. Today's not a good day. We're gonna take our time getting through here. Hey look, train, BNSF 6851-6916, two lead engines. Yeah, it's definitely icy here. I see that whole lane there merging on. We'll go over a lane and let everybody merge peacefully. Lockers off. Downtown Spokane just to the left of us here. I'll enjoy this rush hour traffic for the next half hour or so. Get to the customer in Idaho, and then we'll see what happens after that. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching, for supporting. Really appreciate all the members that have hit the join button down below. I see a bunch of people have bailed out, and I love that people can do that. Come in, bail out, come back later on, come back for a month, and then bail out again. Zero pressure. I just like to bring it up so you guys know that it is a thing. If you want your names in the credit at the end, all you have to do is pay 99 cents a month and get bonus videos every weekend. I am out of here. You guys rock.